Hello everybody, we are going live today with Michali, back to our regular Tuesday programming, and we're going to be answering a question that's been posted on the forums. We're just going to wait for some of you to pop up, and for Michali, of course. I see Michali. Michali, let's see if that works. Accept.
Hi.
Michali, how are you? Good to see you again. It feels like it's been so long.
I know 2 weeks is too long.
It just feels so long. Alrighty. All right, let's hit the question. You have it in front of you?
Yes, I do. I'm going to read it. It says it's by MWMW, and it says I'm not a complainer by nature, but sometimes I do feel like I want to share with my spouse that something hurts me, especially when I'm having typical pregnancy discomforts. How can I do it in a non-complaining, non-whiny way?
Okay.
Do you want to take a stab at it first, or should I?
I mean, my first thought is like it's a very growth-oriented question, which was nice.
Hmm.
But I had some thoughts, but I'm curious to hear what you have to say first.
So, I mean, I think everyone has different definitions for words that we all use. And so I would probably want to first understand, well, how do you define whiny and how do you define complaining? I think that, as a human being, we all need emotional support and comfort. And then even, like she said, a typical pregnancy discomfort. I mean, I think that, you're growing a human being inside of your body. So that's kind of a big deal. So
Yeah.
you are allowed to talk about it, and you deserve, not just allowed, you deserve to have support. I think it's totally okay to say to your spouse, this is really hard, or my back's really hurting, or I'm really nauseous, or I can't sleep well, I'm really tired, I don't know what to do, or I just need to vent to you for now. Whether it's the person's looking for a solution from their spouse or whether they just need, a place to vent. I think that it's completely healthy and normal to have that space in a spousal relationship, and definitely in a friendship.
I'm
So
curious
yeah.
if the question is coming because like complaining is not really making you feel better. Like I know for myself, like when I complain, I usually feel much worse after. In very few instances, I feel better, but usually worse. So I'm wondering if that's where the questioner is coming from. Like it's not making them feel better. So like usually, or maybe the complaint is really like wrapped in a request. And I'm like thinking of this as you're talking. And
Mhm.
like maybe they really need some support or something done, like something done by the spouse to help ease their pain. So I'm wondering if like being more direct about it, like this really hurts me, so it would be helpful if you can do A, B, and C.
Mhm.
That was one of my thoughts. And then another one is like maybe complaining has a place, but I think when it becomes like whiny is when it's like all over the place. So like even something for myself that I practice is like trying to contain a complaint. So it's like I'm going to complain to this person if I need to at this time. So it's not like throughout, it's not in every interaction. It's not about, it's not all over the place and like messy, and like it just has this like contagion effect of like feeling yucky versus being contained, which I think is something we do with our anxiety, with whatever it is that we're, other types of feelings that we don't want to take us over. What are your thoughts on
It's
that?
so funny. It's so funny because I think, I mean, as a therapist, oftentimes like there'll be people who come to my office who just want to vent, and they
Mm-hmm.
need that space and that outlet to vent. And then it's like they are finally able to breathe, and I was the container, and then they can go out and do their life. And
Mm-hmm.
some people come into therapy and they're like, their sleeves are rolled up, and they're like, they have a list and an agenda, and they're like, okay, this is what I want to accomplish,
Yeah.
and in X amount of time, and tell me what to do. I want specific solutions.
Yeah.
And I think that this person needs to first ask themselves, like, what are they looking for?
Mm-hmm.
So if, let's say, we were to define, and I don't know what this person's like personal definitions are of whining, because sometimes people use the word whining and they really just mean sharing or talking,
Mm-hmm.
not like, like a naggy wife kind of whine,
Right.
that like the image that we have in our minds of, but
Right.
I think So I think it really depends how they define it. But let's say this person is saying, I'm going through a lot. I need support. I need to vent. I think that's completely okay and appropriate. If this, and as you said, if this person is like, they want a solution and they need something, then they could use that like formula of I feel blank.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel scared. When, let's say, a typical fear, especially in early pregnancy, is like if the nausea goes away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nausea equals hormones.
Mm-hmm.
And if the hormones are working, then it means it's a good thing you're nauseous, right? So if it goes away for some reason, that can cause panic. So I feel scared when the nausea goes away. What
Mm-hmm.
I need from you, and then you fill in the blank, is reassurance that everything's okay, or to Google something just to show me that like there can be so many reasons for nausea other than the worst case scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, but exactly what you said, like being more direct and
Mm-hmm.
concrete about what you need. But I think it really, really is going to depend on what this person is looking for.
Correct.
And I don't think there's, a wrong or a right.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of what you were saying in terms of, you're, very honestly sharing about when you feel like you want to complain. I think you know yourself so well. So you know when you need to limit it or have a container for it,
Mm-hmm.
and when it kind of goes over that edge of like it being helpful to not being helpful.
Right.
So
Exactly.
this person needs to kind of ask themselves those questions of like, is this actually helpful for me? Is it not? Do I need to vent? Do I not? Do I need a solution? Do I not?
Right. And I was thinking one more thought is like maybe complaining is not the solution. Maybe you really need other better, like healthier, like coping skills in addition to having the spouse to complain to so that it doesn't feel like the only option for you to like regulate yourself is to complain, right? Like if that's your only like coping skill, then it's definitely
Mm-hmm.
necessary and like it might be necessary in abundance. But if you have other ways of like letting go of that emotional or physical tension, yoga, meditation, walking outside, fresh air, other friends, keeping yourself busy, whatever, etc., the list goes on, then it might not feel as necessary or as much abundance of complaining that you're then kind of like suppressing, which is not healthy or comfortable either. So I think we kind of like, hit it from a couple of angles and hopefully that's helpful.
Yes, I totally agree with that. All right. Well,
Well,
thank you, Faye.
thank you,
See
Michali. It's been real as usual. Thank you everyone for tuning in and we'll be back next week, Tuesday, God
you
willing.
next week.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.